are black women possibly making, I don't want to say making like it's intentional, but do black women
Mm.
have brothers feeling insecure?
Saying do they? You saying the black women have dudes feeling insecure?
Are they having them feeling insecure unintentionally, but do brothers just get around sisters and just fall?
Nah, man. Listen, you can't blame the women. You know what I mean? Like,
No, you can't, man.
like you know, and see, you know what the funny part about that question? That question, if a guy actually believes that, is the exact reason why he's having trouble with black women. Because if you think that they're the ones that's making you insecure or making you feel a certain type of way or got you in your feelings, that's the reason why these they won't be attracted to you, because they don't actually see you being that masculine man. Because a masculine man is not going to, blame a woman or look towards a woman for his sense of self, his sense of well-being, and all that other stuff. Because women are looking to you for guidance. Women are looking to you for safety. See what I'm saying? So I think a lot of these guys, what they don't realize is that they don't realize that the same thing that's making it to where it's hard for them to attract is the same thing where that's in their mindset of, oh, well, I gotta blame her. I gotta, it's her fault. She only wants the pookies and the rays and all that other craziness. They think like, oh, I gotta be a thug, or I gotta be like, an asshole, whatever it is. Like that's not the truth. What it is that women are looking for men who are real and who are balanced.
Yeah.
Right. And so what happens is when a lot of these guys get around women, they're not real and they're not balanced. They're not real because they're trying so hard to get a woman to like them that they're not actually being their natural self, and they're not balanced because they're saying and doing whatever they think the woman wants to hear and say or whatever and do, instead of just being themselves and having a balanced perspective and energy when they're interacting with the woman. So when the woman interacts with them, they're like, man, like they don't feel anything from those guys. But Pookie and Ray, they're not attracted to them just because they're Pookie and Ray. They're attracted to those guys because as much as you want to judge those guys are being more real. They're saying, well, this is who I am. It is what it is, right? And they're also being balanced because even though you can say, well, this guy, he might have this, like mean streak, or he's acting like a dick here, whatever, but at the same time, he shows his chill side. So she's like, okay, I can see who he actually is.
Boom.
That's what it is. That's what women are attracted to. They want to see who you are so they can actually see if they're attracted to you. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times what happens is these guys are blocking themselves from women being attracted to them because they're not actually being themselves. So if you're not being yourself, how's the girl going to actually be attracted to you when she can't even see you?
I would meet women and say, look, you take your time, get to know me. I don't got nothing to hide. I mean, shoot, take your time. I'm not in a big hurry and stuff. Because why fake? Because first of all, women checking out every little thing you do anyway. They remember little things that you said it 6 months ago. And they said, well, you remember when you did this? So I said, you know what? It's better just to be honest, because then women going to like you. And you never know why they like you. Because I always tell that story about this woman, and I found somebody on IG looked like she could be her daughter. She ain't feel, I thought I had all this stuff going on for me, but she was liking me for something totally different, So the best you can do is just be yourself, see who you click with. Don't worry about it. But then it's still within you. Don't worry about them, because as Locario pointed out, the only thing these women will have in common is you. So you got to look within, and you got 100% control over that. Let me address that thing you said about these guys talking about, well, black women, this and that. White men saying the same thing about their women.
Exactly, right.
That's MGTOW incels. They talking about white women. They saying, well, these white women want Chad. These white women don't want somebody who got a bald head and stuff. Right. I did address that racial thing, because I say, shoot, I got two more hair than y'all. It's like, it's cool. I mean, and even then, I've known some white women who got some white man who's bald. So, and they fine. Right. So it's not, everybody's complaining, but I say, no, it's you. It's not that. Right. Because trust me. Like you said, the whole thing, the brothers complaining, but I'm like, well, shoot, who do you think all these MGTOWs and incels and black pillars are? They
Right.
mostly, predominantly white men.
Exactly.
But if you look at everybody though, I'm not saying that the numbers are struggling, but I'm
Mm,
looking at people who come off to me like they don't have game, but I kind of think they do. I think they're just bullshitting. You know, people like Coach Greg Adams and, you know, Better Bachelor Joker and all these people have body counts up to the 300,000.
mm,
And then you have people like you,
mm,
Rom, Coach EO. We got all these cats who have the
mm,
most ultimate game, and
mm.
yet there's only like 300 of us strong that support the platform. Why the hell are the red pill platforms getting so much body, but the game right here is not stronger than them in numbers?
Is because the 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 numbers isn't really the issue. It's more so the quality of the numbers you have. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And also too, what happens is this: is that they have the whole saying that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The
Right.
stuff the stuff that we talk about,
Mm-hmm.
what I would say is similar with me and Ram, in my opinion, and guys like us, is that we talk about responsibility within yourself as a man. You understand? And working,
Mm-hmm.
because, like, for example, like Ram, you talk about the body game, right? So
Yeah.
you got to actually work. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be here
Exactly.
around and they're like, man, that's too much work. I don't want to do that. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff we talk about, what we talk about is you got to actually put in work. So what happens is that that's not necessarily attractive to people unless they are really real about making improvements. Because remember,
Yeah.
YouTube is still entertainment. That's what YouTube
Yeah.
was at first. So entertainment is going to be at the top of the list. Now, which you can say that we're also entertaining because we still promote and we still like are in front of a public audience or whatever it is like that.
Right,
But
right.
the core of what we do is a lot of substance. And what happens when you have a lot of substance, what's going to go down is that you're going to have a lot of people who they're in it for the entertainment, but not actually the substance. So what happens
Yeah.
on the channels where they'll say certain things that might sound similar or whatever, or even trying to sound in that way, but it's more of an entertainment thing. And so more people are gravitating to that because with entertainment, you don't have to work. You just be entertained. And so the thing
Mm-hmm.
is that, and I think I've heard you say this around before, where you was like, you only want wolves on your channel. You understand? You only want
Exactly.
the guys who's really about it. So I feel the same type of way. And what I
Yeah.
find interesting is that at the end of the day, when because I got into this truthfully, like I got into this whole coaching thing because when I was younger, a lot of the issues that I had was because, or things that I felt was wrong or whatever, was because I didn't have certain information. I didn't have people to teach me or tell me, and I was
Mm-hmm.
always looking for knowledge. So I was like, I want to actually help people. So if I'm helping 20 people, you understand what I'm saying? I'm good. You understand? I don't need 20,000. I really don't. So what I'm saying is that if I get to help these people and I get to make a living doing what I'm doing, it
Mm-hmm.
I don't a million people watching me. You feel what I'm saying? And if those other people who aren't watching me want to get the information, I'm always here. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say I've never gotten caught up in numbers. If y'all notice, I never say like on this channel subscribe. Like on
Mm,
my other channels, I would say it just to get to 1,000. Then once I got there and
mm,
monetized, I ain't say it because my channel is for the wolves.
mm,
Right.
I want some men who I'd rather have 1,000 men who gonna get out there and do some work, and
mm,
not just to get women, but
mm,
work on their mission as far as their businesses. I got a lot of guys who follow me over the years. They got some businesses.
right.
They writing books and everything.
Mm,
That's all I care about. I'm not here to entertain. We got stuff in the real world. A
mm,
lot of the other guys, I don't have anything against them, but most men are watching them for entertainment.
mm,
Even
right.
though a lot of them actually got some great information, but the guys just want to be entertained.
Right.
And that's all. And I'm like, no, I don't have time for that, man. Because I've always said if I want to do like a political channel and really get into some of the news out here, I could do it
Mm,
Yeah.
easily. But
right.
I'm saying my whole thing is I want to build men up. Now I'll use the term game, but it's really just the game of life.
Mm,
And that's what's important to me.
mm,
Because And even just getting women, man. I just recently had a neighbor who was going through some real stuff. Older guy, he was just lonely. He was lonely. He was going through some stuff. So it's still important because all the men out here want to be with somebody, and they need to admit it. Don't be
Right.
mad at the women. Just admit you like women. You want to be with one. I've
Mm-hmm.
met so many men in the real world. Looked them in the face. They said, I remember one guy. Never forget what he said. He said, "Look, he just wants somebody he can treat well. Take out. All of that."
Right.
He didn't have any bitterness, but he just wanted some companionship. And that's a lot of guys. Say, I want the dudes who are going to really work. Like I said, I ain't caught up in the numbers and everything. Yeah, hit over 50,000 a few months ago, and that's cool. I appreciate it, but I want 50,000 men who are going to do the work. Which store gets more people? Walmart. I mean, better people, better quality. Walmart or Nordstrom's. Think
Right.
about that. Or the car dealership, the used car dealership, or Rolls Royce. Which one do you want to go to?
Exactly.
I'm thinking in terms of being the Rolls Royce or working
Exactly.
towards that.
The quality over quantity. Like the content has to be at high quality. And that's me. Y'all see the work I put up in this platform. I try to give the best quality content as I can.
Right.
But why is everybody so contentious against this good quality content? And Rob, you're right. You're one of the least entertaining coaches on YouTube. Like, that's not a jab, but I'm just being honest because
I'm good with that.
Yeah, you're the most wisdomatic. You have the most wisdom, with your content. Like, you can literally go back to an old video and study it. And come on, the people that you mentioned have the title master in front of it. Locario don't talk to nobody named Master so and so. It's like, yeah, you have like the most wisdom when it comes into your videos. And Locario, yeah, you do venture over to the entertainment area, especially when you go live, when you be hitting the buttons, the Price is Right, you lost shit. I gotta hit the button again. Like, the shit is funny.
Right.
It's like you don't mean to roast the dudes that be on the bullshit, but you just tend to make it a point like, bruh, what you're saying to me is so funny because it legit really doesn't make any sense. And you try to bring light into your content. But why, going back to you, Ron, but why in this good quality content that you both have, that everybody has, that I've seen, including ARC, he's entertainment too, he used to be a committee, why the contentions against this good quality content?
They don't want to do the work within. It's putting a mirror up to them saying, hey, you not there. But we trying to be helpful for them. We putting it out for them. We ain't trying to put them down. We saying, look, all you need to do is work on yourself. And we all hitting that, we all hitting that in different ways. Mr. Locario, he's always said, look within. And that's where it is. Even when I talk body game, I've said it's not even about aesthetics. It's about feeling good about yourself, And that's all we doing. We trying to get men to rise up, to develop themselves, and it goes beyond getting a woman. And they'll find out they'll get the woman, but then all of a sudden they doing business better, or they getting into something. You got to interact anyway. Because I said, shoot, yeah, you can get women, but shoot, you can also make money off them. I've made so much money just interacting with women normally, just without even trying to get with them. I've had women sell my books to male friends of mine, friends of theirs rather. So it's just like, it's bigger. And yeah, they're going to be, honestly though, some of the contention don't even got to deal with just what we talking about. Some dudes just going to be jealous. They're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, they getting women? They getting all of that? Oh, wait, I'm taking a picture with some young girl in Houston and stuff.
Ron, throwing it in your face.
No, but and we just look, man. Hey, man, we just talking and everything. Shoot, she made sure I got a drink and stuff. It's like, hey, I gotta get you a drink. I was like, okay. It's like, look, they jealous of that. They jealous that we feel good about ourselves. See, it's personal. I mean, I don't care what we talking about. They focus on that instead of just saying, hold up, let me focus on his information.
Right.
Let's focus on it. Let's apply the information, because I said it several times. Don't just listen to me talk body game. Hit the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and see if what I'm saying is true. Just go outside. I say, look, take what I say with a grain of salt. Go check it out, then come back to me and let me know what you saw. And I always get somebody giving me some testimony. Always. I guess, I get some dudes I know around here. They text me and say, "Hey, got a body game testimony for you, Uncle Ron." It's like, go do it.
I'll say too, the reason why there's some pushback on this is because you have to understand that sometimes when you say things that ring true to people, it's uncomfortable for them to hear sometimes, so they don't want to hear it. So they push back. So that happens too, where the truth makes a person look at themselves and not want to adhere to what that truth is, because now you have to actually look in the mirror and say, okay, yeah, I actually am doing that, and I might need to improve, or I might need to actually get to work and all that. And nobody really likes that, because sometimes what happens is that, it hurts. Like, when they say the truth hurts, like, it really does hurt, because you've been living a certain way and you see yourself a certain way. So when someone presents something that makes you think like, oh man, is this different? Or am I, am I actually doing this? And that's what a pushback is. So sometimes, even for example, when I do live streams and people call in and I tell them certain things, and they'll push back on it, because instead of listening to what I'm saying, they want to hear me tell them what they want to hear. You see what I'm saying? I was chilling with my girl April, and she said, and this is how I realized it within me. She said something to me, and that I was doing, and I was like, I was super like defensive about it. I was like, I don't do that. What are you talking about? You understand? So she basically told me, she was like, oh, I noticed that you do this little nervous laugh sometimes to fill up space in the conversation. And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't do that. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? So I was real defensive. But then when I thought about it, I was like, yo, she's right. I actually do that. You know what I mean? So I'm conscious of what I was doing. And I was like, and then I said to myself, I was like, why was I so defensive about it? You know what I mean? And then it made me think about, okay, yeah, I see why I was defensive about it. And that's exactly how most people are when the truth hits you. And it's like, that's the thing, is that people are scared to face themselves because they don't want to actually adhere to what's really going on within them, and actually have to make changes or improve to, whatever mistakes or whatever things that they're doing. They don't want to actually do that thing. In order to improve, what you're essentially saying to yourself is, I'm not where I want to be, right? And then that will make you sort of look at yourself and be like, damn, well, am I strong enough to admit to myself that I need to, put in work or to improve on it? You see what I'm saying? And that's not an easy thing for a lot of people to do.
Because it's funny you mentioned that, because I made a video a while back called, are women really the red pill? And then I ran into an old Real Game No Theory, where you guys actually had a title of a video talking about that women are the red pill. So in essence, because I already know we're gonna get jabbed for this shit. Are we bad for listening to women to assist us with self-improvement, especially when it comes to dating?
Legendary book, The Art of War. Sun Tzu said it best, and this could be applied to dealing with women. If you know yourself and you know your enemy, you need not fear the results of 100 confrontations. If a man knows himself and he knows women, he need not fear the results of 100 seductions. You women will tell you everything about them if you just sit back and listen. They will tell you. A woman, you could be just in so-called friends with a woman, she'll tell you how to seduce her. And she knows it, because they'll play that sometimes. They might want to take it further, but don't want to come straight up and ask you because they're worried about rejection. They'll say what you need to do to get them. They will tell you. They will tell you stuff. They will give you perspective. Just stay nice and quiet and just let them talk. Now, this don't say you just gonna just take everything like at surface value. Just listen and pay attention to their actions.
Right.
They tell on themselves and stuff. And especially in the context, because I always say, if a woman's saying something publicly, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll listen, but I'm like, okay, but she's saying something in private when her friends ain't around and sex is involved, I'm like, okay, boom.
Right.
Yo, you definitely listen because that's telling you what they're going to do. And I've never failed to see that. And it's not going to be direct, like I'm gonna do this, this, and this. But if they start saying, well, this is what I want. Like my favorite, there was a woman I was just friends with, and I remember we had a conversation, and she said, you know, it'd be great just to have a friend, just to have sex with, no
Right.
strings attached. And I was like, oh, okay. Next day I called up, I said, you want to go to a hotel? And she said, she was like, yeah, and she paid for it. So it was just like they will tell you. You just listen to them. And plus it's like getting intelligence. Intelligence, like you got a spy. They will tell you stuff. You just gotta learn to weed through it. It takes practice, but just learn to weed through it. And actually, if you learn to listen, you know when a woman bullshitting
Right.
too. So yeah, no, it's very important. Don't these dudes thinking it's like no, it's like if you actually in a war and your enemy is telling you what their moves are going to be, you're going to pay attention, right? Now the women ain't the enemy, of course, but you trying to get with them. They telling you how to seduce them.
Right.
They telling you what they really want and everything. Shoot, even these women on the YouTube space, a lot of guys get mad at them. I'm saying, nah, let them talk.
Right.
There's some that'll go in on guys. I'm like, nah, you don't get mad. Invite her out to a club and actually, or someplace and like just give her some drinks and just sit down and be like, yeah, oh wow. Let them talk. They will tell you everything.
The issue is the reason why a lot of guys have issues learning or even getting information from women is because on the surface, most guys are really judgmental. So a lot of times when women notice a guy being very judgmental and have that type of judgmental energy, she's not going to be honest with you in a lot of situations. So I think certain guys, if you're the guy who's not judgmental, a woman will put you on to a lot of different things that she does, her friends do, that women might do in general, and then you'll pick up some game and be like, oh, okay, that, you add that to your repertoire because you're like, okay, like she's giving me some information because I think I say this wrong another day on one of your videos where socially women aren't going to say a lot of things in public, but if you get them by themselves, you know what I'm saying, they definitely
Exactly.
tell you things you probably wouldn't even have heard, and this is why guys don't really get a good full scope of the game is because they're never putting themselves in a position for a woman to feel comfortable just revealing herself to them. You see what I'm saying?
And women talk about like somebody was asking me about that actress from Baby Boy who had sex, had a threesome
Yeah,
with
I
two
heard
men.
about like
You know,
Johnson. Yeah, I
and,
heard about that.
and I'm gonna tell you what I was like.
At 50.
I mean, I've had some women tell me some more stuff. That's nothing. I mean, seriously, that's like pedestrian. See, the thing is, if a woman, because a woman will test you out, she'll throw some stuff out there sexually, see your reaction. Like a woman could say to me, "Oh yeah, I had sex with two men and stuff," and I'm like, "Hey, you gonna finish that last wing?" I mean, I don't even care. But I'm like, okay. Seriously, I've known some so-called goody girls telling me how they cheat. They like the mistress of some married man, or they done got with this type of guy, or they into some BDSM men, and I'm like, I'm just sitting back like, I'm picking my teeth out of the the meat from the buffalo wing or something. I'm like, okay, because I'm like, whatever. It's like, okay. Because I don't judge him for it. That's like, you're going to do what you're going to do.
So, and some say little stuff just to get like a little reaction out of you, just to be entertained about it. It's like they do shit like that. So you know what? This was actually like some awesome game for tonight because a lot of men would never pretty much admit like, yo, listen to her. I mean, you ain't got to listen to every woman because, the point is each woman is going to let you know what they like personally.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is not across the board. Honestly, to tell you the truth, Locario, another girl could probably thought that your nervous laugh was cute.
No, that's true though.
Right.
You'll continue doing this shit, for that case, but in that case, I guess she felt that maybe it was unprofessional, maybe you did it on camera during a live, I don't know. But she was basically just giving you some honest criticism that, she thought maybe you needed to check. So I get that. But at the end of the day, fellas, there's nothing wrong with taking a little listen to what the ladies are saying when it comes, especially if they're trying to drop a gem that can actually help make you better. Because I've gotten honest criticism about the show. Some people say, "Bro, you don't need the music," but I'm like, "Fuck y'all, I love music."